In this video, we're going to take a look at the Timecards module, and this will be an overview of the main screen. I'll follow up with a second video for actually editing the timecards. First, click on Timecards in the left-hand navigation menu. Here you'll see a list of your employees who have clocked time within a specific date range. If you have departments and teams, you can select one or multiple in the department dropdown and in the team dropdown menu. Click Apply to update your selections. Directly beneath that is the date range selector. Here you'll see your current pay cycle and any previous historic pay cycles. You can select any one of these to get that view. If you select custom date range, this allows you the flexibility to look at a specific day or last week or even last quarter if needed. Next, we have the decimal and hours and minutes switcher. So depending on what you prefer your total time format to display in, you can click on either decimal to see those converted decimal values or hours and minutes to see them in hours and minutes. Note that your selection here will apply to any exports that you run from the Timecard module. If you're expecting to see somebody's name on this list and it's not there, it's because they haven't clocked time in this pay period. You do have to clock in and clock out and have time for your name to be in the list. So if I needed to create a time card for somebody who's not here manually, then I would simply click on the Create Time Card button, search for the employee I need to add, and then simply put in the first day and values for what times they worked. And now you'll see that employee's name is in the list too. By default, there are a lot of columns in this table. If there are some things here that are not relevant to you and you'd prefer to see maybe your regular and overtime and double overtime totals without having to scroll, you do have the ability to customize these columns. Click on the filter icon to show and hide certain columns. So for example, I could turn off employee ID, employee title, punch-in time, meal period time, total time, etc. if I really just wanted to focus on the hours that matter to me. When you're ready to export times from Worksana, either for printing time cards or running a report or getting it into a format that's compatible with your payroll software, you'll simply click on the Export button. Note that by default, this will export all employees who have times within your selected date range. If you wanted a specific employee or a subset of employees, you would simply check the box next to their name to only export these employees' records. The very first option available is called Employee Timecards. This is available in Excel or PDF format. PDF format is printer-friendly out of the box. You'll also notice in the Employee Timecards option, there are checkboxes, and these checkboxes will allow you to either include additional information that's not displayed by default or hide information that maybe you don't need. So for example, if you wanted to see a column with any correction requests made by employees, then you could check the box for include correction requests. Or if you wanted a blank row for the days they did not work, then you could check the box for include days not worked. Shift name likely will not apply to your organization. Org info would display department and team information. We also show a converted decimal conversion on this report from hours and minutes. or vice versa, the hours and minutes totals. If you're printing this out in decimal, if you wanted to hide that conversion, check the box for hide decimal conversion or hide hours and minutes conversion, depending on which view you're in. Page number would just give you a page number at the bottom of the PDF. Add supervisor signature would give an additional signature block for a supervisor to sign this time card, and show weekly totals would give you an additional row of totals by week instead of only totaling the entire pay period. When you're ready, go ahead and click on either Export XLS or Export PDF, and you'll see a pop-up that lets you know that this is processing in the background, and it'll be available in your notification area once that completes. And what we're looking for is a red dot to appear on this bell icon in the lower left navigation menu. And once that appears, click on the bell icon, and then you can click on where it says to click here to view your PDF or download your Excel file. Another common export is the audit summary export. And what this will do is give you a summary for your selected date range with one employee per row and their relevant totals. It also totals all of your employees' totals so that you can get an idea of how many regular and overtime hours you've had over the pay period for the entire organization or department or specific team. The first version is a vanilla Excel file with no special formatting. XLS2 is the exact same thing, except there are alternating colors on the rows just to make it a little bit easier to read. XLS3 actually allows you to select which columns you would like displayed prior to exporting, which cuts down on the amount of cleanup you might need to do after the export. And PDF gives you a printable version. You can also customize which columns you'd like selected prior to running this export as well. Oh, here's an example of that. In addition to the more common exports, we do have various out-of-the-box exports available for certain payroll companies. For example, ADP, iSolve, Paychex, Paylocity, Sage, QuickBooks, etc. The search bar can also be used to filter down to certain individuals or subsets of individuals. You can search by first name, last name, parts of a first name or parts of a last name, employee title, or employee tags if you have those set up. And looking at the time card table, you'll notice that some of these employees have certain highlights on their row. A light red highlighted color would indicate that the employee has either left you a correction request or was forced off the clock due to forgetting to punch out for the day. An orange color would indicate that there is a potential issue with a meal break that would either be a meal break that was taken late according to your settings or one that did not happen at all. A darker red color indicates that there are multiple issues. And if there's no highlight whatsoever, it just means that the system did not catch anything. It doesn't necessarily mean the time card is perfect, but the system didn't catch anything that it flagged for you. There's a checkbox for show deviations, which will filter down to only those employees who have system errors, which allows you to focus on those records. And there is one other checkbox for show departments and teams. And all this does is creates a label directly beneath each employee's name and displays their department and team assignment. That covers the overview of the main timecard screen. There will be a follow-up that gets into employee timecards, where we'll actually go in and edit timecards, look at the different error types, and kind of make sense of what all this means on this screen.